Welcome back to Front Page News. This is the rendition of the Barbershop Talk. And today in the Barbershop, we're having a discussion of whether or not is social media driving people insane, right? Because as you know, and everybody else knows, that on January 19, 2025, social media app TikTok was supposed to be shut down in the United States. And within 12 hours, this app was back up running and everybody was back continually doing what they do best, which is go on TikTok and I want to say act a fool, but not everybody acts a fool. But the majority of the people that I've seen on TikTok, they act a fool. So when this app was taken away, right, we seen people literally start crying. We seen people talking about what they're going to lose and they don't have no other skills and they're content creators and what's going to become of them. Right? And in the back of my mind, all I could say to myself was, realistic, what have we become as people? If you try to get into a trades program right now, it's the hardest thing to get somebody to train you to do anything. But if you want to be a social media content creator, all you have to do is use the phone or the device or the laptop that you have accessibility to. And the problem with being a social media content creator is that when we see people dedicate their life to this, not everybody is chosen, right? And then they chalk it up to, oh, maybe your content's not good. They chop it up to maybe you need to try something different and you need to do trends and you need to do the things that the algorithm wants you to do, right? And then you see people that don't do any of that and they just skyrocket. So when everybody was talking about this is their livelihood and what percentage of individuals were claiming that, because they said there was about 1.5 million people who were on TikTok from America. So if this is what's feeding a lot of the people in America right now, right, which I don't see 1.5 million people being a lot of people, but if this is what's feeding the American mind state right now, right, what's going to happen when these apps actually disappear? What's going to happen when we have an internet shutdown? What's going to happen when we have a situation like Y2K, which happened in 2000, when we didn't think that the clocks were going to roll over to get back to zero? Like, even when I was a young kid when that happened, and I said to myself, like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, you can still go to the store, you can still go to the bank and use a teller. People weren't really using automated banking machine systems and stuff like that. So right now, where everything is automated, everything is put on the internet, from your banking information to probably your birthing information, right? I'm really trying to figure out what would happen now if the whole world shut down. Because if they went crazy like that over an app, right? What would happen literally if the bank machine stopped working, the internet stopped working, you couldn't take money out, you couldn't do anything? So I think everything is like a build-up. You know what I mean? I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but I believe that everything was a build-up. And in 2000, I believe that they were trying to see what would happen if we really went fully automated. Because in 2000, people were collecting canned goods. People were building bunkers. People were building hideouts, all sorts of stuff. So right now, when we have these situations, right, and people act like that, I would really want to know what would happen. But besides all of that, right, on another note, the 20th of January 2025 was actually the presidential inauguration for Donald Trump, who has been reelected back as the president of the United States. And to me, I feel like everything is orchestrated. And I keep saying to me because it's to me. Everybody has their opinion. Everybody has their own thoughts. Everybody feels the way how they feel. But I feel personally that all of this was orchestrated, because as the president of the United States, why wouldn't you want the world to see you being inaugurated? So by you taking this down and then agreeing with the owners of TikTok, right, which I believe is a company called ByteDance, right, to restore everybody's service on the app, literally hours before your inauguration, you become the champion. You become the victor. You know what I mean? Because now it's like you fought for their rights. When In my mind, in 2020, the whole point of the whole TikTok ban even starting was because President Trump wanted it out of the country. So now when you're elected again, right, and you choose to have this company, right, at your back now, right, with an agreement which needs to be approved, which is 50% of all earnings from TikTok. You start to wonder, like, was it all about the money? Did he really care about the people stealing information? Did he really care about how much money people are making off of these apps without contributing to American society or to society in as whole? Because there's a lot of countries that are benefiting from this, especially Jamaica. Jamaica TikTok is basically one of the biggest TikTok things out there right now. So if you're looking for anything Caribbean, you know, like a lot of people are hitting the pound in Jamaican TikTok and coming across a lot of information, which I believe is still inaccurate, but it's free willing. Like, it's information that you could decipher. It's not what they tell you to do or what's happening. You could actually see a lot of things that's going on. But we all know that the TikTok that we experience is not the same TikTok that the Chinese or the Asians experience. Their TikTok is all about education and all about, you know, like, good stuff. The TikTok that we experience is all about people cursing out each other, people doing crazy stuff like dancing all day. People are doing other stuff like just going live and playing matches to achieve money where people just hit up the screen. And I still think it's a very weird situation that something that is so basic, realistically, TikTok is a very basic app. They just allow you to do more that the other apps restrict you on. Like, even monetization is more loose than the way how it is on Instagram and the way how it is on YouTube, right? And that's only for certain regions, because a lot of places don't even have a creators fund. So America has a creators fund, and I believe that they work with them. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I feel like these things are controlling people, because we haven't had a Y2K. And I don't hear anybody really talking about this. But Y2K, like I said before, was a complete shutdown of all electronics in the year 2000. That was 25 years ago. We never even had half of the electronics that we have right now. So the fact that that was something that sent everybody into a frenzy, I could imagine what the setup is, right? Because sooner or later, with all of these apps coming out, with all of these programs that you can add on, internet, Wi-Fi, all of these stuff, there has to be an issue, because it doesn't make sense. Even though storage space, when it comes to Instagram and TikTok, it doesn't make any sense. How could you upload and store all of this on your device, right, without paying for storage? And then at the end of the day, when your phone alone is full, you got to pay for storage. Every month, I'm pretty sure everybody's paying for storage from Apple or some type of cloud sharing company. So there's a lot going on, and we just don't know what it is. But we got to roll with the punches, because they're saying this is the way how you keep your business afloat. This is the way how you create money and streams of income for yourself. But to be honest with you, not all of these apps are basically here for us. A lot of these apps are for consumers. They're not for creators. So we got to also learn where all of this stuff is coming from and learn to choose and pick our battles, because this is a battle that we're going to be fighting for a long, long, long period of time. And to me, it just started. It literally just started. Because if you had the ability to turn off and restore, that is very scary. Like, it literally shut down in an instant and was put back on in an instant. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, mine never came back right away. Or, bro, for an app that has over probably, if I even give a number to you, it's probably wrong, but I'm going to say over 15 million users, and they can just restore power and take off power, we're in for a rude awakening of what life is to become. Because that just means that they're going to be able to control every single thing that you do. Even with the electrical vehicles, like I really don't understand what's an electrical vehicle. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Right now, we're literally just talking about how the power was taken away and restored within hours. And we think that they don't have nothing to do with this. We don't think that this was something that was already in the works or talked about or spoken about or put together or orchestrated. You gotta come to me with something different. So at this point right now, it's very hard to get into any job. And I see people saying that it's very hard to get a job. I see people saying it's hard to be trained in a trade right now. And if this is the only option for individuals to make money, which has become a content creator, we don't own any of these apps. There's no contract stating that, you have to be there. There's no contract keeping them working for you. So literally, if we're dependent on only content creation, this is wild and this is crazy. Like right now, we do content creating for our barbershop. We do it for the barber industry. We do it for the industry, period. We're a hub to where you get information for what's going on, because a lot of people don't watch the news. A lot of people don't like mainstream media. And we find out this is a way just to bring clients into our shop and for us to make extra revenue. But you hear what I said, extra revenue. We still cut hair all day. We still sell products. We still give back to the community. We still do everything that we're supposed to do. So at this point right now, I think that we're too dependent on these apps to make money. And it has to stop, or it has to be a line that's drawn as to where this gets cut off. Because at the end of the day, this is going to be detrimental to people's health, their well-being, their mind state, everything. There's no way that app could have been cut off and turned back on, right? And no one doesn't realize that if it's just a button, then why isn't everybody a content creator? Like, comment, share, and please subscribe, and follow us on all of our social media handles, because we're here just to give you guys the information. We're not trying to tell you anything. We're not trying to make you do anything. We're just here to give you information that you might have missed or you're just not aware of. But that's the way how we create content.